Hey, I think we're live. Hello. Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? How are you, Karen?
I'm very well. I'm excited to be here. How are you doing?
I'm very well too. I miss these live things. I don't do enough of them these days. So yeah, I'm excited to be here too.
We used to do loads of them, didn't we? You used to fall off your chair on a regular basis.
Fall off my chair?
Yeah, you did, because you used to laugh so much you fell off your chair.
What, on purpose? Like having a laugh? Or, yeah.
Probably.
Hey, good to see you, everybody. Anyway, welcome to the first of hopefully many BuyBotPro and Profit Protector Pro training sessions. So some of this stuff that we're going to cover tonight is going to be stuff you already know if you've been using BuyBotPro for a while, and some of the stuff in here maybe you don't know. We'd love to go in depth into everything about BuyBotPro, but we are not able to do that tonight because literally it would be hours and hours and hours and hours long. So we picked a few bits and we're going to go into 5 main topics tonight. And what we'll have to do is we'll have to cover some more stuff in another session. But what we are going to do is we are going to do a Q&A at the end. And maybe whilst we're going, probably in between each feature thing, we'll do a Q&A. So how we've structured it is basically Karen's done some quick videos. So if we hadn't told you that, you might not even know that the videos. You could just click play and she's talking. But what we'll do is we'll play a little video of a little thing and then we'll chat about it, I guess, and maybe take your questions and all that stuff. And then we'll go into another feature or whatever. But the intention is to maybe educate you on some stuff you don't already know and up-level your knowledge on some other stuff. Have you got anything to add to that, Karen?
I don't think so, apart from obviously today we are focused on BuyBotPro. So all the training tonight is BuyBotPro, and we will do another one in Profit Protector Pro another time for Profit Protector Pro clients as well. And as Matt says, we're going to do them regularly, and we'll pick a bunch of subjects to do each time and come in and chat to you about them and be here for all your questions and hopefully, you know, increase your knowledge of BuyBotPro on the way. So yeah, we're excited to be here.
So before we get started, I'm just going to go through to the chat. So if you want me to say your name, say hi. Let me know in the chat who's here and who you are, where you are, whatever you want to tell me. So hi, Holly. Holly's here. Hey, Simon, Jeff, howdy. Hi, Bob, Brian. We're live. Yeah. Kay, Anne, Andy, Rajesh, Craig, Marlene. I think I said John before, but Bon Jovi, as they say in France. Anthony, Miroslava, Heather, Trudy, Marcio. Hey, Jamie, Michael, Darren. Good evening. We got Andy, Craig. I think I'm going to miss and say people that get second time, but it might be a different one. Julie, Kay. I've said Kay already. Another Julie from Colorado, US. Nice. Brian says, just uploading my prices into PPP for the first time as you speak. Dumped reprices.com today. Cool, Brian. Well, welcome to PPP, Profit Protector Pro. And we look forward to you seeing the results you're going to get when that thing goes, woo, when them algorithms kick in, you'll see it. But we're not here to talk about any competitors or bash anybody. That's not what tonight's about. This is all about BuyBotPro tonight. So glad to have you with us, but we won't focus on that stuff. So this is just BuyBotPro training tonight. Hey, Mark, Sohal, Tamika, Manitoba, Canada. Others come from. Nice one. Hey, Stephen. Good evening. Right, so a whole bunch of you here. We've got 69 people and climbing live, which is a nice turnout for a random little training session type thing. So, like I say, if you've been using BuyBotPro for a while, a lot of this will be like, meh, whatever. But if there's always something you'll pick up or something you can learn, but you can ask us questions as well. So with that being said, shall we crack on, Karen?
Yeah, let's get going. Let's get the first one done. Yeah. And let's pick like a fairly quick and simple one to get started with. And then we can come back and answer any questions that we've got about what's going on. I've particularly picked a couple of quite in-depth features tonight as well, because we're covering variations, and we're covering the manual sourcing and the new feature that has gone into BuyBotPro in the last week or so. So we're covering both of those tonight, as well as some other bits and pieces. So yeah,
the manual sourcing thing now, guys. Oh my God. It was, as far as I'm concerned, BuyBotPro was the best manual sourcing tool available before we made it 2.0. After 2.0, it's just gone next level. Like the power of this thing, if you know what you're doing. And hopefully, I've not seen what Karen's put together, but hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll show you how to use it. So there's a couple of good, nice, in-depth things tonight, and a bunch of littler stuff plus Q&A. Yes, Phil and Tamika, it will be recorded as long as we've not got to click a button we don't know about, which we might do because Webinar Jam's changed since I last used it, and that weren't that long ago. Yeah, so fingers crossed it's recording. If it isn't, then what a load of rubbish. But yeah, our intention is to record it if we can. Right, okay. Marcia says, I love it. Sounds good. Right. Okay, so which one do you want to do first then, Karen? Have you got the buttons or do you want me to press them?
No, I haven't got any buttons.
Okay, what do you want me to press them?
You can choose whatever one you fancy.
Well, we've got people that aren't Brits here, so I don't want to do VAT first because they'll be like, VAT? What's that? Like, there's no point because that's a Brit thing. So we should probably not do that one first. There's quick links, discounts, variations, or SPQ, or manual sourcing and quick look. Which one?
Let's do variations first because that's quite a complex one. While everyone's wide awake, let's get that one done because I'm sure there's going to be lots of questions about the variations. So let's get that one done first.
Right, so we're going to hit the variations one now, guys, and then we'll do some questions and stuff, and then we'll hit another one. Let's go. Oh, does it work?
There are two different types of variations. Probably two main different types of variations. And what's that? They are variations like this. So mute our mic.
Did that stop? Did the sound stop, peeps? We need to mute our mics. Weird echo. Right, so we need to mute our mics. So we'll both mute our mics, Karen. Probably turn off our webcams as well. Because otherwise, it's like your mouth is moving and there is nobody there. Right, so we'll go again, guys. We'll try that again. So let me just mute myself and turn my webcam off, and then I'll play the video again. Fingers crossed.
There are two different types of variations. Well, there's probably a lot more, but there's two main different types of variations. And they are variations like this. So this is called a parent-child variation. So you've got all your different products and you've got lots of different colors, you've got lots of different sizes. But no matter which one you click on, you'll find that the title of the product stays exactly the same. So you therefore know that that's a parent-child listing, and it doesn't matter which one, as I say, whichever one you click on, it stays exactly the same. The title stays the same. So let me show you how to do that within BuyBotPro. So the first thing to do is obviously to analyze your deal, and then if you come down and have a look, you've got an extra feature in BuyBotPro here called Show Variations. So one of the things you should do is straight away enable that and go along to your review count and sort it so you've got your highest review count at the top. So now let's have a look down, and we can have a look at the estimated sales for this product. So this product's got estimated sales of about 4, so it's a very slow selling product. If we come down a bit further, you'll be able to see that in the chart as well. So there's the BuyBotPro chart showing you the sales. Now, so it's only selling 4. Now, if you could have complete control of that, that might be okay for you and you know how your business and how your business works. But if we look at this review percentage, and it works on the basis like Amazon don't disclose obviously how many people give reviews, but if I kind of tend to work on like 1 in 100 people might do a review or something like that. So not very many people get reviews, so you're never going to build up a huge amount unless it's a massively selling product. But what I'm interested in here is look at these percentages of who's got the review. So the black one's got the highest percentage at 8.24. Black size 4 is clearly the most popular at 8.24% of the reviews. But all the way down to here, there's a difference. Obviously, this is only at 3.53. But it's not like this one's at 60% and then these are all at 5%. And then you'd have a very clear winner in terms of which product was the most popular in terms of reviews. So here I can see clearly that there are quite a few that have got reviews and have been purchased. So this to me would straight away, unless this was a super fast seller, which we can see it's not because the estimated sales tell us it's 4 and the chart shows us that it's not a particularly fast seller as well. So that wouldn't be a product that I would buy because straight away I can see that I'd have to buy so many of them to be able to cover all the different eventualities of what's fairly popular, and it's still only selling for a month. So it wouldn't be a product that I would be interested in buying. But as I say, that's called a parent-child ASIN. Now, as you click on these, the information in the chart will change and the information within BuyBotPro will change. But the one thing that doesn't change is the BSR. So the chart will look different, but the BSR will stay the same. So you need to make sure that you bear that in mind when you're sourcing with parent-child variations. So everything will change apart from the BSR. Now, there's a different type of variation as well, and there's a variation like this one. And you can see that if I click on a different one, the title changes. So this is called a merged variation. And what will happen then if I analyze this deal? So let's analyze that deal and have a look. We can see we've got either a pack of 1 or just a single one, or we've got a pack of 3. So we can go down and have a look at the sales. So it's selling fairly well. It's not super fast, but it's selling 16 a month on average. So it is at least selling. So if you now have a look at the variations and do as I said with the review count, we can see straight away that the pack of 3 has got 85% of the reviews. So clearly the pack of 3 is a lot more popular than the individual one. And you can back that up by having a look at the chart. So let's come down to the chart. And if we have a look at all time, now I'm on the individual listing at the moment. And can you see this massive drop in BSR in May 2020? This is when Amazon merged the listings together. So they merged the BSR of the 1 pack and the 3 pack together. And you can see here on this one, before that date, the 1 pack is selling just once in a blue moon. And the BSR is going up and up and up and up, and then boom, all the way back down here. Because it's been merged with the 3 pack, which we've already worked out is selling much quicker because we've seen that in the review percentage in the variation feature in BuyBotPro. So if we now go on to the 3 pack and have a look at the chart again, and let's look at all time, there we can see that backed up again. Look how fast that product is selling, and it's consistently sold well before May 2020 when it merged. And obviously that forced this one to go up a bit because it went in the wrong direction because it suddenly got merged with one that wasn't selling very much. But before that, you can see it's selling super fast. So that's the difference between a merged and a parent-child variation. So if you're buying this one, absolutely buy the 3 pack because it sells much quicker. And personally, I'd stay away from this one altogether because there's not enough variation in the percentage of reviews and it doesn't have quick enough sales to support those different variations. So that would be my suggestion, and that's how I look at variations within BuyBotPro.
There we go. Okay. So, Jevon, I know you probably don't say it like that. I'm sorry if you don't, but Jevon says poor quality video. You couldn't see it very well. It's a little bit grainy. So sorry about that. I think that the only thing we can do in future is to like zoom in maybe and try and make everything bigger. So if it is a little bit grainy, we can see it a little bit better. But Hopefully you guys got that. I think a lot of people don't even know that the variations feature is even in BuyBotPro.
Yeah.
It's been in there literally well over a year, but it only comes up on variation products, and you saw where it's sat, and you have to click it to activate it. But who? Let me know in the chat who didn't know that the variations feature existed, and who did know. Let us know. Heather says, "Neat feature." Yeah, absolutely. Who knew about it? Video looked great on Julie's end. Will this feature on the app? Not currently, but never know for the future, because we've got big plans coming for the future. I'm not going to reveal anything yet for the app, but we've got some real big plans in the very near future. We've got devs working on some stuff. Okay, so Heather didn't know, Steve knew, Fatima knew, Andy knew, David didn't. Okay, so Anthony certainly did not know. He does now, which is cool. Jim didn't know either. Anne didn't know. Okay, right. Okay, John knew it was there but didn't know how to benefit from it. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. So that's really useful already. Like, just looking at either people didn't even know it existed, or they didn't know how to use it. So there you go. Big tick for Karen. Already some value right there. So that's nice. So let's roll straight into another one. Brian says, new info for me and loved it. Struggle with variations normally, and this is great help. Kevin says, me, but never used it. Wasn't sure what to do with it, but I do now. Thank you. I like how you explain the reviews, Mark said. Go on, Karen, you want to say something?
I do. First of all, I want to answer Marcio's question, because he's asked a question. And I think before we roll into anything else, I'd like us to go through the questions for variations. So anybody that's got any questions about variations, they can ask, and I will do my best to answer it.
Yeah.
Say, like, certainly as far as like BuyBotPro is concerned and stuff like that, and how BuyBotPro deals with the variations.
Yeah.
Marcio says the sales estimates are very different with other tools, and he believes this is a real big challenge. How can we trust it? Okay, well, the point is no sales estimator is ever going to be perfect. Amazon don't share those figures, so nothing can tell you exactly what is the sales, exactly what those sales are, because we don't know that information. So everybody is, and every tool is probably finding their own way to estimate what they think looks about right for those sales. And we purposely have built BuyBotPro to be a little bit conservative. So up until from 0 to about 30 in terms of estimated sales a month, I think you'll find BuyBotPro is absolutely 100% spot on. It's really good. BuyBotPro's estimated sales can read that BuyBotPro chart, and you know when you get a dip in the BSR and the green line goes down, and that usually indicates a sale. It might indicate a lot of sales, but at least indicates one sale. And BuyBotPro can read that chart, so it understands the amount of sales up until about 30, I'd say. After that, it probably underestimates them a little bit, and we purposely do that because, as I say, no sales estimator can be perfect. And if I was using BuyBotPro to source and buying products based on that, I'd rather it underestimated than overestimated, because that way you're always going to do better out of the situation than you think you're going to do. Nothing worse than thinking it sells 2,000 a month and finding it only sells 200.
I've got something to add to that as well. I think we have a tendency, I don't know if it's a human being thing or an Amazon seller thing or what, but we have a tendency to focus too much on those numbers, because ultimately I always see it as, I mean, it could be traffic lights for all I care. Like, it doesn't have to be a number. We make it a number, but ultimately this month's sales are not going to be the same as last month's sales. Like, they're not, because it's a new month and like it's new people buying it and all that stuff. It's a rough indicator, but they're not going to be the same. So I think if you just go, this sold 30 last month, so it will sell 30 this month. Well, no, because one person could come on, buy 15 units in one purchase. So then all of a sudden you just did 45 if it was just the same as the month before. So I think we have a tendency to focus too much on specific numbers. And what you need to be doing when you're sourcing is focusing on not a feeling, and not trends, but like an idea. Is it a fast seller or is it a slow seller? Don't make a purchasing decision based on it. It's going to make 30 sales this month, because nobody Nobody other than Amazon knows how many sales it was. Perfect example, right? I sourced a product and I bought a product from Amazon when I was doing OA, and I purchased, like, I can't remember how many units it was, but maybe it was like 150 units or 200 units or something like that. And then I looked at the BSR charts expecting it to spike like crazy. I'm like, yeah, this sells like 30 a month or something. And here's me buying 150 of them or whatever it was, numbers wise. This is going to send the BSR like to the moon. It's going to be amazing. And honestly, I was using Keeper at the time, but on the Keeper chart, which is the data we use for BuyBotPro charts, so it's the exact same. But on the Keeper chart at the time, it didn't move. It looked like one sale. And I knew it was me that made that purchase. And I knew I'd purchased over 100 units on not a slow seller, but it should have moved the needle and it didn't. So I think we have a tendency to focus too much on exact numbers. And what we need to do is get a rough feel. So if it's selling 4 a month, like the example with the shoes just then, you know it's a slow seller. It doesn't mean it's going to sell 4 this next month. It means you're probably not going to sell 84 in the next month. So like Karen says, BuyBotPro tends to err on the side of caution. It's more conservative rather than less. There's nothing worse in our minds than somebody buying a load of stock thinking it's a big seller and then it doesn't sell and it's sat on the shelves and collecting dust and long-term storage fees. So we don't do that. Use it as an indicator. Don't use it as gospel. So is it a fast seller? Is it a medium seller? Is it a quick seller? That's what you should be gaining from that, not exact numbers. But with BuyBotPro, like Karen says, very accurate on the slower sellers, more conservative on the faster sellers, but you won't get left with stock. We've heard people say, usually with BuyBotPro estimates on the faster sellers, it can be 1 to 4 times as many. So the idea is, if it says it's selling 100 in BuyBotPro a month, you know it's a good seller. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Marianne's asked, can you not look at the BSR of a variation and trust it to buy a product? Not if it is a merged product, if it's a merged variation, because they've merged BSR into the slow sellers and the quick ones. So you'll have to do what I said in the video and go and have a look at the BuyBotPro chart and see what happens before that happened in May 2020 and see if you can work it out from there. But if you go through the process that I showed in the video, then you'll be able to work out, what is selling and what is not selling.
Marcio loves BBP. Yes, Marcio. Yes.
Jevon's asked, are the sales estimates overall for the listing or how many sales you as a seller joining the listing can get? It's how many sales overall that product sells. So if it's only selling 2 a month, that's 2, despite how many, you might have 20 sellers on the listing. So then not everyone's going to get a sale every month. But
that's something to bear in mind as well. Just because it says estimated sales is 30 a month, if you go and buy 30, if it makes that exact same amount of sales in the next month and it does sell 30, well, you're sharing those sales with other sellers. Unless you're the only seller on the listing, you're not going to get all 30 sales. So you've got to bear in mind competition when you're doing your sourcing. So if there's 10 sellers on a listing and there's 30 sales a month, well, you've got to assume that at least the better price sellers are going to get a good portion of that buy box action, no matter what you do. So just bear that in mind. Bear in mind competition when you're doing this stuff. Julie said the BBP sales estimator has served her well. So there you go. There you go, Julie. Yeah, you won't get caught out with it. That's the thing. You won't. Yeah, you might wish you'd have bought a few more, but you won't end up wishing you'd have bought a few less, as long as you take into account competition and all that stuff. So hopefully that answers all the questions. Shall we move on to the next thing, Karen?
Yeah, let's choose another one. If everyone's ready, we'll go for another one and cover another subject.
Well, we'll do Q&A at the end. If there's anything that comes to mind and you guys want to ask it about variations, pop it to us at the end. But yeah, we'll jump into another one. So which one would you like to go into next, Karen?
Let's do a short one next time. So we've given them lots of information in variations. Let's do a quick and easy one. So what about the discounts?
Discounts. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic and stuff and we'll go to the discounts.
The discount feature is found about halfway down BuyBotPro. And if you analyze a deal with and put in the full purchase price in the buy price at the top, and then you can see you've got your ROI and your profit there, and then you can apply and or stack your discounts. So for instance, if you were to only pay half price, it will work out your ROI and your profit based on half price. And if it was 75% off, you can stack your discounts, as I say, and you can add 50 and 25 together, or you can take them off and you can add a different one. You can do whatever you need to do in terms of working out that discount. So you can do a 3 for 2 if you want to. You can any of them work, and you can stack them. So if you've got 30% off, put a 25 and a 5 in, and then you get your 30% discount. And BuyBotPro will be doing all the maths behind the scene for you. So you can literally just look at your profit and your ROI, add in your discounts, stack them if you need to, and you're good to go with the knowledge you need in terms of how much you're making on your deal.
And we're back. That was a quick one, wasn't it? Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a mixture of slightly more in-depth ones and slightly quicker ones, so that, you know, we're not just
I like it.
Nothing but videos even, because that wasn't the plan.
No. So Karen, if you put in buy price £10, then hit 50% discount, it will work it out as though the product was £5. Is that correct?
Yes.
So okay. So if it's a 3 for 2 offer, you can enter the single purchase price in. Is that correct? So you enter as though you're buying one, so £10 a unit. Click 3 for 2, and then how does that work?
Well, it will work out the maths and then tell you exactly how many you're going to get, and you can go up to the top if you want to as well, and you can change the quantity. So if you were buying lots of them, you could add in the quantity as well. But it will work out the maths all behind the scene, and the ROI and the profit will change for each one. Yeah.
Okay. So so it's not just taking 25% off your purchase price. It's taking 25% off your purchase price and then working out what your Amazon fees are going to be and all that other jazz into it. It's doing the whole shebang. So it's just, instead of when you're sourcing and you see it's 3 for 2, then you have to get your calculator out and it's like, oh, that's £6.66 a unit. You don't have to do that. Just hit the discounts button and bosh, all sorted.
Yeah.
He says,
all that for you.
Natalie says, love discounts. John says, bog off. Buy one, get one free. Andy says, love the 3 for 2. Okay, cool. So has anybody got any further questions about that one? Like Karen says, it was just a quick one. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you play with it a little bit, you'll get it. It'll just come to you. Simon says, John, just add 50%. Yeah, that's it. So a buy one, get one free is just, you can just do 50%, but maybe we could add a bog off button just for, buy one, get one free or whatever. But yeah, it's just 50%. Marcio says, how can we be careful not to receive an IP from Amazon? Is there anything in BBP that can help us? Absolutely. I would argue it's the best thing in it, Karen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, BuyBotPro is able to get all that information from Get Unsuspended as well. So it has all the information about what brands cause trouble and what brands cause issue. So, it's all plugged straight into BuyBotPro as soon as we know about it.
Yeah. So basically, sorry, Karen. So basically there is something called IP radar in BuyBotPro. If you've not seen it already, I don't think we're going to cover it tonight in the training, but we can another time. But there's IP radar, and it literally tells you if there's any known problems with the listing or if there's a potential problem with the listing. So we have a traffic light system, and it's green, amber, and red. If it comes up as red, it means don't buy it, because we know there is known issues with that listing. Now, why do I say that we've got the best one? And again, I'm not here to blooming compare or anything like that. I'm just saying, look, Karen is the suspensions expert here in the UK. There's a bunch of people that deal with suspensions, but I've known Karen now for years, and I know because through BuyBotPro we offer suspension safeguard, we deal with a lot of suspensions. And when I say we, I mean Karen. Karen and the team deal with a lot of suspensions because of suspension safeguard. And I would guesstimate that in any year, maybe 10% of sellers get suspended in any year. And if you're one of the 10%, that's pretty bad. So that means that Karen's been dealing with a lot of suspensions. She deals with a lot of the what causes the suspensions and any brand problems or brand issues. that we hear about through Get Unsuspended, which is a sister service of BuyBotPro. Anything we hear, we feed that into BuyBotPro. So we've got what we believe is the most extensive brand IP radar database in the world, and we feed that directly into BuyBotPro. So as we discover new brands and listing issues, that data gets fed in real time into BuyBotPro. Now you might say, yeah, but what if somebody's trying to screw us over on a listing? We verify that information. So we have seen some people just taking people's word for it, and that's cool if that's what they want to do, but we don't do that. We verify, and we know what to look for to verify those things. So before we'll add it to the radar, we make sure it's legit and it's not like a competitor trying to get all the mates off or you guys off a listing. So if it's red in BuyBotPro, we have seen physical evidence and proof that there is an issue with that particular listing. Do not buy it or buy it at your peril. If it's amber, just correct me if I'm wrong, Karen, but does that just mean that there are some potential issues? Like, just fill us in on what an amber alert means in IP radar.
Okay, so an amber alert means there are some red flags that BuyBotPro has noticed that needs a human brain to help work it out.
Is that like a single seller? So a one FBA seller on a listing, would that come up as amber?
Yeah, so that would come up as amber. And if the manufacturer's name matches the seller name, that would come up as amber. So anything that comes up that BuyBotPro thinks, oh, that might be a bit of a problem, but I'm not human and I can't quite work it out, it will flag it as orange for you and just say, look, go and do your due diligence and make sure that everything's okay.
So red is we've had a human being look and verify it, and we know there's an issue. Don't do it. Yeah. Amber means we've used the automated kind of bot within BuyBotPro to go, is there something wrong with this listing? Maybe then you need to have a look yourself just to make your own mind up. And then green is, look, we don't see any potential issues either on an automated basis, and we know of no issues on a human being basis either. So green doesn't mean you won't get an issue. It means we don't know of any issues with it. So ultimately, you should still do your own due diligence, still make your own mind up. But IP radar is as good as it gets when it comes to in the trenches, live in real time. We've got a full-time team working on suspensions, and like we feed that stuff in same day when we get it. So if we know it's bad, BuyBotPro knows before anybody else does, and it pushes it out to all our users. So you get the benefit of that and know that we've verified that information. Hopefully that helps. You want to add anything to that, Karen, or shall we go back to the questions?
I want to add one thing. Yeah. Sometimes, like you said, people will say, oh, this brand caused a problem. So what we'll often do then, we'll mark that amber, because while we try and verify the situation, we'll either talk to the brand or we'll try and get documentation to prove it. So if we are investigating a brand, that would also be amber.
Yeah.
Once it's verified and we know that actually, absolutely that's true and it causes a problem, we'll turn it red. But we will mark it orange if we're a bit, we're looking into this brand.
So if we get some evidence to suggest there could be something right, but we've not got full confirmation yet, yeah. Amber as well. So there is some manual adjustment to the amber as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good to know. Karen's got a question that is going to boggle your mind. She says, if you stack the discounts, e.g. 3 for 2 and 10%, which discount does it take off first?
I think it goes in the order that you click the button. So I think if you click 3 for 2 first, it will do that first, and then it will do the 10% after that. So I think it's in the order of the button.
But we're not 100% sure on that. So give it a little tickle and see, and then you can let us know. But yeah, John says, very useful feature. Natalie says, buy one, get one half price, please. Yes, we'll need to get that in there. If you're watching and listening and paying attention and not watching Netflix, chuck that on the list, will you? Because that'll be nice and easy to get in. We're going to have that in by tomorrow, can't we? But yeah, absolutely. We'll get that in there. Vincentia says, if we are a new seller, can BuyBotPro tell us that product is request approval, or we still have to check in Amazon seller app?
Okay, so BuyBotPro can tell you that. So what you have to do is, if you're using the Chrome extension, you need to be logged into your Seller Central on a different tab. And then once it goes through, BuyBotPro will tell you whether you're eligible to sell the product, whether you need to get ungated. If you need to get ungated, it will take you through to the page where you can do that within Amazon. It will tell you whether it's hazmat, and it will tell you whether it's dangerous goods. So it works it all out for you and gives you traffic lights depending on your eligibility to sell that product.
So it basically just says to you, can I sell this? And it says yes or no. Yes, no, or maybe. I think it is. And it's got traffic lights on there to explain it all. But no, who was it that said it? Bob says, it's a bloody minefield. I assume he was meaning the IP stuff. So, yeah. It is, Bob, but that's why it's important to have something like BuyBotPro, because ultimately you're one person and you don't know you don't know if you're going to step on a mine. Whereas BuyBotPro's got the hive mind of all our users, and we are the #1 tool in the UK by amount of users, and obviously with the original tool. So we started. And again, I'm not making this about anyone else. It's just about BuyBotPro tonight. But we started this game. So like this was the first fully automated online arbitrage deal analysis tool in the world. And so we've been feeding this data into it ever since day one, or ever since that feature went live, which is literally years. So we've got years of data that's gone into that. So yeah, OA can be a minefield if you're doing it on your own. It's only a matter of time till you get blooming suspended or something crazy like that, or you're not eligible to sell or something else goes wrong. But one click, BuyBotPro just does it. So that's why it's important. And we say, BuyBotPro is not optional. I mean, it is optional. There's always somebody out there that wants to do everything with no tools, not spend a penny on anything, but they've got things the wrong way around, because you step on a mine and your journey's over. Whereas just one click, BuyBotPro, just the hive mind and all those years of experience and stuff just baked into it. One click and it just tells you, bosh, done. Karen says, fab, thank you. Holly says, I am not then, ha ha. So she's watching Netflix. So hopefully she's got it on the list. I bet she's using a phonic loop going, oh, what was said? Jason says, what if you're having to stack because the discount isn't listed? Well, we need to make sure that all the discounts are listed. So we're going to add Nats in there, and any other regular discount, let us know in the BuyBotPro Facebook group, and you will see how fast that bad boy gets added. We don't drag our feet. As you guys have seen, we've been banging in features left, right, and center over the last month or so. We're going to continue to do that. So if you need it in, you tell us, we'll add it there. Not a problem. Do you see anything else jump off the page, Karen?
I don't think so. I think, most of the figures you can probably get to the discounts in terms of, like, if it's 30%, you can use 20% and 10%. So you can stack them and get to probably most things that you want. But we definitely need as Mark and I think Mark Francis said, and I think Natalie said, we definitely need
we'll add 2 or 3 more discounts to that list, and then it'll be very comprehensive. But if you need anything, let us know. You guys are out there every day sourcing. You know what comes up. You know what you need. Let us know. This is your tool, not ours. We build this for you. So if you need something, you let us know. And as long as it's not some really weird, obscure niche thing that only you in the entire world would ever need, we'll do our very best to get it in there in a timely fashion, because ultimately we're building the ultimate tool for you. We want to keep it there. So Marcio says, sorry, but I'm loving this lesson. That's great, Marcio. That's what we like to hear. I think this is the last question. Is there a role in BBP that we can get an idea of how many times Amazon has shared BuyBots in the past few days? So what there is the, what is it called, Karen? The smiley faces, the blue smiley faces.
Okay, so we have a blue box, a buy box analysis, blue box. Buy box analysis is what that's called. So there's 4 different faces that shows you, and it will tell you whether Amazon share the buy box on a regular and consistent basis, whether they share it occasionally, whether there is no data or they're not on the listing, or whether they just don't share the buy box at all. So you've got a big smiley face for when they do it all the time. You've got a medium sort of smiley face where they do it sometimes. You've got a completely confused flat face where they do it, where we don't know the answer because they're either not on the listing or they don't share it. We can't find the data. Or you've got a big frown. Where
that was me trying to do the faces.
I know, you're making me laugh.
People will be thinking I'm nuts.
And the point is, they'd be quite right.
Yeah, yeah, you might have something right there. Yeah, so basically, but again, let me add to that, Karen. As much as Karen's explained what's going on behind the scenes, it's just the same click. It's analyzing, it tells you. So you get the smiley face. That's just one of the functions that BuyBotPro does. So you don't have to click to check. There's not like 20 different clicks or 40 different clicks. It's one click, analyze, and all this stuff. The IP is done at the same time. The estimated sales is done at the same time. The charts are shown at the same time. Like everything, the smiley faces for the Amazon sharing buy box thing is shown all at the same time. So one click, easy. Did you want to add anything to that, Karen? I can tell you do.
I do. Yes, I do. Right. The other way to have a look is to go down to the BuyBotPro chart, and what you'll see is little pink dots where the buy box is. And if you hover over those, it will tell you the price of the buy box, and it will tell you the price of the like Amazon's price and FBA price and MF price. So you can see if the buy box price matches the Amazon price or the FBA seller's price, and therefore you'll know whether that person's that buy box has been shared around. So that's just another way of doing it. Obviously, the buy box analysis smiley face is super quick and easy, as Matt said. That's the quickest way to do it. But if you want to really drill down, you can do that in the chart as well.
Yeah. So we've got comprehensive charting within BuyBotPro, not a little screenshot of some blooming preview keeper chart or something like that you can't zoom into or anything like that. You can fully manipulate the chart within BuyBotPro. You can zoom into it. You can go back 365 days. You can toggle things on and off. You can really deep dive into the chart information. So if you need thorough analysis, then you've got keeper level analysis on that chart stuff, because we basically purchase the data from keeper directly, so you don't have to. So the charts that we draw are like the keeper charts. They're just using the exact same data. So ultimately, you don't have to have 2 subscriptions if you don't want to. It's baked into BuyBotPro. Again, something we do to go above and beyond to give you full analysis, in-depth stuff of the charts and stuff. So Mark Francis in the USA, and I love that you put USA. We love our American brothers and sisters. Says, please add a tax feature for USA sellers. That's on the list, isn't it, Karen?
It is, yeah. We will do that.
Yeah, we're going to do that real soon. We love you Americans. We love our American and our Canadians and the bloody Europeans. We love you all. But yeah, we absolutely love you Americans. So if we can help you with the tax features, it is going in real soon. Don't you worry about that. Mark says, please, can you cover VAT tonight? Absolutely, we are going to cover VAT tonight. I've seen that's one of them that we're doing. Karen, do you want us to zoom through the last questions before I hit the VAT one? Shall we do VAT next?
I don't know if we should do VAT last. Then our US friends might not want to stay for that bit because it's not relevant to them.
Yeah.
Well, the first couple of minutes of the video probably is, because I talk about the US sellers and what they need to do.
Okay, so Mark, we'll do the VAT thing tonight for sure, but we'll do it the last thing we do, so our American friends can leave if they want to, because the VAT stuff's not relevant to them. It's sales tax in America, but it's sales tax for the UK. So we'll definitely cover that stuff in a bit. That's a good idea, Karen. Leave it till last.
Yeah, I think so. So Jevon says being able to edit the dimensions and the weight of an item would be useful. Sometimes item information is wrong and can negatively affect price projection. Absolutely. Holly,
Really?
not already on the list. Can we get it on the list and get it done, please?
That's a really good idea, Jevon. Absolutely, because a lot of the times Amazon don't have the correct weight and dimensions in. And if you know them, it could be cool to just go edit. I like that. It's really good. It's my order. It's a nice little tweak, but it's useful. So thanks for the suggestion. We'll get that in. Heather says, I'm a new user. Is it possible for my VA to join the Facebook group? Absolutely, Heather. Be more than welcome. Invite your VA and we'll be happy to have him in there. Ollie's already answered. There you go.
Darren says he's only just managed to log on. Can he ask if any reason the SPQ wouldn't come up if over 68%? Yes, there's a few reasons, and we're going to cover SPQ tonight, I think. Is it not on the list? Yeah, it's
on the list, yeah.
So we're going to cover that. Maybe we'll do that next. And then if that, we can watch the video, go through it, and then we can talk about that at the end. I think probably, Darren, that would be the right thing to do.
So Pardeep says, would you recommend Keeper? Keeper's an excellent tool, but and if you didn't have BuyBotPro, I would 100% have Keeper. But we pay them for their data on your behalf. It costs us a small fortune to pay Keeper for their data. It's an excellent tool. It's an excellent business. Keeper's great. It's like a godsend. But we pay for that data and we draw our charts from their data so you don't have to. So if you have a specific use case for Keeper, then yeah, absolutely, I would recommend it. But for most people doing OA or RA, you don't need an individual subscription to Keeper. You'll be fine with BuyBotPro because literally we use Keeper data to draw our charts. Simon says extension to work on a different browser like Kiwi for mobile. We have a dedicated app, Simon, for Android and for iPhone. And there's some top secret stuff I can't tell you yet, but I really want to tell you, but I can't. We're not gonna give it up, but we got some real lovely stuff coming on the app side of things that people are just gonna be like, oh, I'm so glad that BuyBotPro have done this, but you're going to love what's coming. And we've got a full-time dev team working on it. So wait till you see it. You're going to absolutely love it. But yeah, we don't have the extension working on mobile. The extension just works in Chrome. I think it also works in, what's that other browser it works in, Karen?
Firefox.
I think maybe it works in Firefox. I don't know if Safari on the Macs just changed things so they can run Chrome extensions, but I don't know. Maybe it works in Opera. There's definitely another browser if you don't use Chrome that it works in, but we test it and make sure it works on Chrome. So our only supported browser is Chrome, but it does run in other browsers, but we don't know about this Kiwi thing, but we have got dedicated apps. So as a BuyBotPro user, you can download that native app for Android or iPhone. Yeah.
In the Play Store or the Apple Store.
John says, I won't repeat that, John. Right. Maybe being able to just adjust the tax feature would work for the other regions. Yeah, we're looking to cater for everybody, Germans and everybody. So Jeff says, can't wait for the Profit Protector Pro app coming real soon, Jeff.
Not long.
It's in beta right now. There are, 10 people out there with it right now using it. So we're just ironing out any kinks before we roll it out to you guys, but it's coming. Simon says it will work on Kiwi, but it just doesn't show the island. I've got the app as well. There you go. So, right. So shall we go to the next bit then, Karen?
Yeah. Shall we do the SPQ? As quite a few people have been asking about that. Shall we do that one next?
Here it comes, SPQ time. Let's go. Mute.
The SPQ, or the suggested purchase quantity, is a super clever little feature built into BuyBotPro to help you decide what the correct amount to buy of any one product is. So I've analysed this deal. It's just a Barbie deal, and I've just made up the buy price to make it look like an amazing deal. So BuyBotPro is recognising that it's a great deal. It sells well. Everything's good. You've got good profit. You've got great ROI. So it's got a suggested purchase quantity of 16. And as in everything in BuyBotPro, if you ever got a query about what something does, hover over it. It'll give you a great tooltip. But you can control that SPQ if you need to and if you want to. So you can go into the settings page. So this area here is where that affects the SPQ within BuyBotPro. So you can add in your stock capital. So for instance, if you've only got, say, £100 to spend on stock, then you'll get a different SPQ from BuyBotPro than you would if you had £10,000 to spend. Because BuyBotPro will never suggest you spend more than 10% of your budget on any one deal. So if we had £1,000 to spend or $1,000 to spend, let's say, and let's say our max buy account was 10. So we never wanted to buy more than 10 of any one product. So if we then click Save and Sync, and then we go back up and we reanalyze the deal on BuyBotPro. So let's say we can get it for £1 again, and we'll analyze the deal. BuyBotPro has changed the SPQ to 7. So it's gone from 16, which is what it was a moment ago, to 7, because it's recognising that you've got a smaller budget and you don't want to buy too many of any one thing. So it's recognising that and adding that into your SPQ. It's a great little feature within BuyBotPro.
Okay, we're back. That was a quick one. Holly says works well on Opera. Okay, so there you go. So Hol says that BuyBotPro does work on Opera. Again, we may mostly focus and support Chrome. But if she says it works on Opera, Ollie works with the devs all day, every day kind of thing. She kind of drives most of the projects forward. So she'll know. So that's cool.
Let me go back to Darren's question now, because Darren asked about SPQ.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. So Darren, I would think that you've probably got something in that setting that I showed on the video, max buy count or your budget or something like that, where that is potentially making BuyBotPro say don't buy any if it's that sort of feature. Obviously, it will suggest that you don't buy any as well if it's not a good deal. So, you know, I know you mentioned yours was more than 68%. But if the confidence score, BuyBotPro confidence score is low, then BuyBotPro wouldn't suggest you buy them, because we only allow it to make a suggestion where BuyBotPro is pretty confident that the deal's a good one.
Yeah. So basically, if it's not coming up how you'd expect, if it's saying 0 and the BuyBotPro scores over 68%, then is it safe to say, Karen, it's best to take a look at those settings and make sure that you've got your buy capital entered properly and your max buy count entered properly.
Yeah.
Because it's probably taken from one of those things and affecting the SPQ.
Yeah.
Cool. Marcio says great. Mark says great feature. Andy says awesome that. Darren says I love the confidence score feature. Yeah. It's
Do you
great.
know that is so much more complicated than anybody would ever believe. That confidence score, that BuyBotPro score, is checking thousands and thousands of data points.
Yeah.
It's immense. It really is.
Karen, is it fair to say that obviously you guys know that a sister service of BuyBotPro is online arbitrage deals? Do the VAs, am I right in saying that if one of the deals doesn't get above a certain score on BuyBotPro, then it can't be submitted in online arbitrage deals?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So literally, online arbitrage deals sourcing process, the whole team uses BuyBotPro as their criteria for submitting a deal. And if it falls below on the confidence score, it cannot be submitted. It gets rejected by the system. So they can't submit deals with a lower. So what that says to me is, look, if onlinearbitragedeals.com literally sources using BuyBotPro, the team literally uses the confidence score. That's how confident we are in the confidence score. When it comes up green, it's a goer. When it comes up red, it's a knower.
Yeah, I think, and we're not going to cover this tonight, but just very quickly, let me say that confidence score is based on a very Joe average analysis of an online arbitrage deal. So, it's a very basic analysis. You can make that personalized if you want to. And if you are someone that's new to online arbitrage, then don't do this. Just stick with as BuyBotPro analyzes it, because it's gonna work it out and keep you safe. The only slight caveat I've got there is be careful with variations, because variations are very odd and they need a bit more of a human brain than other deals do normally, because there's so many different things about variations. But if you go into the settings on BuyBotPro, towards the bottom, 3/4 of the way down, something like that, you've got little sliders, and you can slide it and change how BuyBotPro analyzes your deals. So if you, for instance, only like to have profit at, I don't know, $20 or £20, whatever it is, you can slide it over to 20 for the profit, click save at the bottom, reanalyze your deals, and BuyBotPro will make everything red that's not £20 or $20 profit. So you can make it really personalized to how you like to analyze your own deals. We will cover that in another session. But yeah, you can make it really, really personalized. So don't do that if you're new. If you're new, just leave it alone and just work with it. But if you've got more experience, you can personalize that in the settings, which a lot of people don't realize as well.
No, cool. Right. So Elaine says, "Oh my God, I'm picking up so much already. This is great sharing from you both." Oh, that's lovely of you to say, Elaine. That's what we want. We want to be useful. We want to give you guys some training, give you somewhere to ask you questions to, and obviously, we've been working with BuyBotPro now and the devs and every feature for years. So if it's something that we don't know, we can find out the answer for you. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully, because we've got that level of experience, you can gain a load of stuff. And Karen's a font of all knowledge when it comes to BuyBotPro because she's worked directly with the dev for so long. Now Holly does it more so, but Holly does a cracking job, and we still stay on top of what's going on. You know, but Lorraine says, oh, it just jumped. I lost everyone. Not sure if I'll see this, but oh, sorry. Yeah, it's being recorded, Lorraine. Yeah, if you're struggling, I think you can just hit refresh or reconnect or something, and it'll go again. Mark Francis says, are you going to have more spots opening up soon for online arbitrage deals.com? Yes, Mark, the spots open up periodically. So there might be a spot already, but every 2 or 3 weeks, the idea is, look, we go and have a look. How many spots are available? There's 2 in the US, 1 in the UK. We'll send an email. So the idea is go to onlinearbitragedeals.com, put yourself on the waiting list. It's not a queuing system. So everybody that's on that waiting list gets emailed at the same time. If you get the spot, cool. If you don't, you just have to wait till next time. But like I say, every couple of weeks, the intention is also 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We have a look, see how many spots are available. If there is any, we ping out an email and you can jump on it quick. And if not, you just have to wait till next time. But there might actually be a spot available right now. So it might be worth reaching out to either add yourself to the list and wait for an email or reach out to support. What's support, Karen?
info@onlinearbitragedeals.com.
Yeah, so there might actually be an available spot. We don't ping that list every time. So we just leave the main page closed. And when spots open up, there might be 2, 3, 4 open up or 1 open up. When they open up, we'll ping out an email every so often. So you're not getting an email every day or every week or whatever. It's when we have a look. Darren says, I love the way it adjusts your price. Use it all the time for confidence in my buys. I think that's the key, right? Some people think that BuyBotPro, some of the features like that are only for beginners, but ultimately they're for advanced people as well. And the biggest sources, the biggest sellers still say they love BuyBotPro because it's like an extra pair of hands, or an extra pair of eyes, sorry. You know, you might have a tired eyes. You might be so excited about a deal that you miss something. Well, BuyBotPro doesn't allow you to do that. So it just gives you another look. So even if you're like Neo in the Matrix and you can look at a deal and you just see it and you go, I'm in, I'm just taking that deal. That's amazing. I'm having it. And then you see a little red thing on BuyBotPro. You go, what's that? And then you go, ooh, it's X, like IP radar. You know, maybe you wouldn't have noticed it. So it's like a second pair of eyes or a real shortcut, even for the most advanced veteran sources out there.
Absolutely.
This says fantastic info for a new user. Go on, Karen.
I was going to say, Dean says, are these webinars going to be a regular feature? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think we'd like to do them on a regular basis. Yeah,
we don't know if it'll be once a month or once every couple of weeks, but the idea is we'll probably rotate through them. So this one's by BuyBotPro, and obviously this is only going to be a handful of features in BuyBotPro. We could do a whole bunch of these and cover new stuff every time, so we will do. But obviously there's Profit Protector Pro as well that we've got just as much to say about that. So the idea is we'll just keep it fresh, do a different session here and there, and you guys can join for free, whether you're a customer or not, and come ask us questions about it. Because ultimately, if you learn and become better sources, that makes us happy. And if you're gaining valuable information from us and using our tools the best they can, then it's just a massive win-win. So that's what we want for you guys, to just stay connected to us. You want features, come let us know. You want to ask questions, ask them to our faces. If we don't know the answer, we'll get you the answer. And we're going to structure this training so you'll hopefully gain something out of it. Like a bunch of you didn't even know the variations thing was in there. Now you do. So that's cool. And mission accomplished just on that one thing. But loads more stuff to come tonight. Luke says that IP radar still saves him every week. Love it. Pardeep says, I found it really useful to analyze products. When I see the red, I forget the items. Go on.
I was going to just answer Mark Francis's question. When clicking between variations, the price does not adjust. I'm clicking between a 3-pack to a single pack. The sell prices remain the same. That's because you've already probably analysed it on one. So you'd need to reanalyze a deal to get, like, if you're doing something different, you need to change to the other ASIN, because you usually got 2 products that usually have 2 separate ASINs. So you'd need to change to the other one and then reanalyze the deal, and then that should change.
Sorry, go on, Karen.
It's all right. I want to get on with the next video because we've got lots to get through yet, and we're already an hour in, and I want us to get on with the next one.
Darren says, loving this, guys. Loving that you're loving it, Darren. Cheers for that, buddy.
Wait, just let me answer Brian's question. Is there some way to add suggestions through BuyBotPro, or can we email you potential ideas? Absolutely, Brian. Email them to us, info@buybotpro.com, please. And, we will put all the ones in that we possibly can. So we've got a nice big feature list, and we just keep banging in those features. So, yeah, email us your ideas, please.
I'm 99% sure you already know this, Brian, but there is a BuyBotPro Facebook group as well. But maybe if it's not Brian, maybe it's somebody else that's in here, and you've not come from the BuyBotPro Facebook group. But there's a free BuyBotPro Facebook group, and we're in there every single day, 7 days a week. I'm not saying we're in there all day, every day, but we're in there a lot. So if you've got some suggestions, or you want to feedback, or you want to ask some questions, there's that as well. So we're very accessible, folks. And we've got a large team working on this stuff, on all our projects, and they're very available too. Right, what do you want to do next then, Karen?
Should we do a complicated one? Should we do the manual sourcing one? Shall we get that one done?
Yeah, baby. This one's a newer feature in BuyBotPro, and it's so powerful. It's so powerful. If you've not seen this, guys, I don't know how well Karen's going to explain it in this session, but honestly, hopefully, if it ticks the boxes, this really ticks the boxes. This is good.
Yeah, but this session's just as much about answering all the questions and going through it all as well.
So. But I'm just saying, I don't know if you cover the storefront stuff, do you, in this one? Ooh. Oh, you're in for a treat, folks. Right, we're going to mute. We're going to press play on this bad boy. And, yeah, we'll see you in a second for the questions.
So here's how the manual sourcing and the quick look feature work within BuyBotPro. I've combined them for this training because I think it's better to do that because they work very, very well together, and I can show you how the whole thing works seamlessly. So when you go onto Amazon and you load a page with lots of different products, BuyBotPro will load up under each of these products and let you know the ASIN, the BSR, how many sellers there are. So if you can see, like with this Amazon on the seller, how many FBA sellers, how many MF sellers. And you can see the BuyBotPro charts and a Google shopping link. Now, if we go back, if you click on any of these, sold by Amazon, FBA sellers, whatever it is you click on, it will take you into the seller list and to the sellers. So you can see exactly what's going on with those sellers in there. So if we go back to here, and then any of those links you can click to do that. And if you open up the BuyBotPro charts, you can see everything you need with the BuyBotPro charts. They're all interactive, so you can drill down as much as you want to drill down into anything on any of the charts. So you can do that. You can click that little red cross when you want to move out of them. But obviously this gives you a fantastic opportunity to find out exactly what's going on with the product and with the sales. And then you've got the option here to click the little Google Shopping button as well. That will take you out to here. And then you can look at other places where it's for sale. Now, I saw earlier that it's for sale for $9.99 on Argos. So it's currently selling on Amazon at $18.40. So you might think that's worth checking out and seeing if it's a deal. So you'd click onto here and it would open it up in Argos for you. Then you can go along to here and then do your click and go over to your search on amazon.co.uk. And then BuyBotPro will bring up the manual sourcing accelerator for you, and it will show you all the products that look like it may match with that product. And as you can see, here's a product here. So this is the one that we'd be looking for. So if you wanted to then analyze that, because you can click that link and it'll open up the Amazon page for you, or you can click this link, analyze with BuyBotPro. It will load it here on the Argos or the third-party website. And if you're in, obviously, if you're in America, just choose .com, and then you'd be on, Walmart or wherever you are. You put in your price, $9.99, you click analyze, and then BuyBotPro will have a look for you at the product and tell you whether it thinks it is a good deal or not. And as you can see, it's giving it a low confidence score because the profit's only £1.75 and it's only 10% ROI. Now, depending obviously what your situation is and what you choose to look for in your business, then you may decide that that's suitable for you. That ROI is a little bit low, but you can do what you need to do. Maybe there's an opportunity to sell it at a higher price. And if you want to do that, you can click show graphs. Just as you could look at them on the other page, you can look at them here as well, and you can see what the price actually is and then how low it goes. Amazon's there selling it for £10.42. So you can have a good look at what's going on with that price and decide whether you could squeeze in a bit of extra profit to make that a deal, or whether it's not likely to be a good deal. Then you can analyse that deal and decide what you wanted to do and whether you could do that. Because you've got FBA prices up there at $21.95. So you could always then, if you wanted to, come back into here, change that to $21.95 and analyse it again. And then BuyBotPro would have a look and tell you what's going on now. Still got a fairly low ROI, 23%, but that's a lot better. So you may decide that that's okay for you in your business at 23%. BuyBotPro is saying it's only an 8% deal because it's still pretty low ROI. But it all depends on your business model. You may decide that that is suitable. And obviously, you know, when you're looking at things like this and you're deciding what's suitable for your business, don't ever forget that you can change the sliders in here to make it, you know, so if you say, you know, your ROI needs to be between 20% and 70% or whatever like that, and you can make that score very much personal to what you want it to be and how you want it to work. So you can analyze the deal either on the Amazon website, or you can analyze it on the website here. But you can have a look, reanalyze that. $9.99. We were going to sell it at 21 something, which I can't remember. 21 pounds in there, just as an example. So that will do. So we'll analyze that just as an example. And obviously BuyBotPro has brought up the average score, because the confidence score, because your ROI, you said that you're okay with something approaching that sort of level. So it's still fairly low, but it's much better. So that's what the manual sourcing accelerator does. But there's so much more to show you, because on this manual sourcing accelerator, you can see the image up here, obviously, of the item. You've got your buy price and you've got your buy box price. And if you ever want to swap them over, you can do just by clicking them over like that. So you can swap to the buy box price if you want to, rather than what the extra price that we were looking at. You've got your quantity. You can always change that if you think you're going to buy 3 of them and you want to see what the profit is. If you buy 3 of them, you can do that. Then when you come down here, BuyBotPro will show you that the profit for 3 of them would be £5.28. The VAT override we'll go into in a different training session because it's too complicated to cover here today right now. And then you've got your buttons for whether you're doing your penny, you and your MF and your bundle and such like. And you've got all your normal information that BuyBotPro gives you, telling you whether you can sell the product, and all your maths calculations as well. Obviously, you've got all your discounts and you've got your notes. And as always, you can stack these in whatever way works for you in terms of having a look at what information you want to view on BuyBotPro. So that's really exciting, and I love the extra bits of all the quick look in with all the manual sourcing accelerator. But we've added something else, even more to it. So if you come down here and look at the competition analysis, and you can use this either on the third-party page like I am here on Argus, or you can use it on the Amazon page. If you have a look at normally you'd hover over those, it would tell you who the seller was. BuyBotPro's always done that, and it's told you whether it's an FBA seller or if it's an MF seller or if it's Amazon, whatever it is. But you can click on one of these and it will take you through to the store front for that seller. So you can go through and see everything that's going on for that seller and what other products they're selling. So that's brilliant in terms of being able to source and see what other people are selling and be able to get the best deals and find the best deals. And of course, you can always look at Google Shopping and see if you can get things cheaper elsewhere. So you can have a look at this Lego set. What BuyBotPro will do is you can see like the top one here, it's found this product for you. The next one down, it's found it here. Next one down, it's found it here. So it will literally list all these products going down that are on the page for you. And then you can say, okay, I think I can buy, you know, this one might be good. Let's just take the top one, for instance. And you can say, okay, it's selling at $9.98. So we can have a look at Google Shopping. We can see what we can do. Don't think there's going to be very much more there that we can do. $2.99 possibly. I don't know if that's the same product. You'd need to obviously do your research and see if it's the same product. But you can do that all the way through and have a look at Google Shopping and where else you can buy the product, and you can find the product at a cheaper price to be able to manually source your deals and get the best deal that you can. So that's the manual sourcing and the quick look feature of BuyBotPro, which is an immense feature. It gives you an amazing opportunity to source and find great deals manual sourcing. I love that feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so basically what you can now do is, if you've got some OA competitor that you know is always on your listings, it's so-and-so again, here they are on my listings, maybe they tank your listings, I don't know, maybe they're enemy, but you've got some competitor that you know does OA because they're always on your listings. Well, you could build up a list of, okay, I'm going to look at this person's listings. So you click on them, and then you can analyze all their listings and then go find where they bought it from. So if they're OAers and you know they're OAers and they're selling certain products, well, you just go look at what they're selling, and then that's just another avenue for you to find products manually yourself. And that's the whole point of the 2.0 in Manual Sourcing Accelerator. So it's not just Manual Sourcing Accelerator 1 was being able to go on any website anywhere in the world, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Argos, Asda, Sainsbury's, whatever, any website, and do an analysis based on that product right there on their page, and BuyBotPro pops up on their page. 2.0 is adding it so you can do it on people's storefronts. So it's just another way to manually source products that's super, super powerful if you know it's there. And obviously you guys do, because you invest in the time it takes to make sure you're growing your business by spending it with us this evening. Go on, Karen, you've read some stuff you want to read out, haven't you?
Just because what I should have mentioned in that video, which I didn't mention, is you need, for the quick look and for that to show up on the multiple page where you see all the different things, you need to go into your settings and toggle it on. And I forgot to do that in the video. So just going.
Should we not toggle that on by default?
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, Ollie, one for the list. Let's toggle quick look on by default.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, we probably should, because I think that's confusing people, because people are not seeing it and not realizing it's there. So yeah, we need to toggle that on.
Yeah, we need to just toggle it on. I think there was I think I remember Ollie saying something about the devs were a little bit concerned because it's still in beta.
Yes.
They were concerned, like, if we toggle it on for everybody and then it's not quite right, then there's everybody that's seen it. But I think it's really running smooth by the looks of it and really powerful. So we should toggle it on for everybody, I think. But yeah, just go into the settings, toggle on quick look. It's called quick look, and save and sync, and then you'll see it on your listings. You might have to hard refresh your browser.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let me answer Brian's question, because Brian's asked if we can have the option to extend the competition analysis to show all sellers rather than just the top 10. And we've had this a few times, and we've talked about it with the devs a few times. And the reason we do the top 10, Brian, is because things like that take quite a long time to work in the background. And every complicated feature we add to BuyBotPro, we're always trying to balance that with the speed of BuyBotPro. So there's always like a seesaw to be had. If we have it analyze all of them, potentially we could add something that said show more. So you then have to click to get that more information. You'd have an extra weight to get that more information. We could potentially look at doing that. But it's always that balance we're trying to do with BuyBotPro to make it super quick on your screen for you when you're analyzing deals. We've given you as much information as we possibly can without slowing it down. So there's always that balance to be had. That's why it doesn't automatically show you more than 10, because obviously checking all the stock and all of that stuff is quite a complicated, time-consuming thing for BuyBotPro to do. But potentially we could have a show more. So if Holly could add that to the list, and we'll chat to the devs about that and see if that would solve that problem. It would mean an extra click, which is something we always try and avoid in BuyBotPro. We try to, only use the minimum amount of clicks for stuff, but maybe that's one that we could justify an extra click for. But it's worth discussion within the team and with the devs, see what we can do. So we'll add it to the list. Yeah.
So yeah, the click thing's a big wind up for me. There's some software that you never use in the Amazon world, but it's called Kartra. And it's like if one click would do it, They're like, they want 8 clicks. It's like, why? If at Webinar Jam, same people, I think the same people made Karcher, didn't they? Is Karcher on Webinar Jam same people? Maybe it is. But this is a nightmare. Like, you just want to click something, and it's like 3 clicks. Why make me click 3 times? Just let me click once, you know. But we try to engineer all clicks out. So that's why we always talk about this 1 click. It's not just about the power and functionality that's in BuyBotPro. It's about making sure it's easy and fast to use. So easy and intuitive, 1 click rather than 2 or 3 or 5. Jeff says, the BuyBotPro box does not appear for me on the Amazon page showing multiple listings. Is it possible it's conflicting with another Chrome extension? Is that just the quick look? Is that just, it needs to toggle quick look on?
I would think that's just yeah.
Jeff, just try and toggle the quick look feature on in your settings, and hopefully that'll fix it. If not, reach out to us, info@buybotpro.com, and we'll take a look for you. Shesna says, wow. Vladislav says, wow, you won me with that last feature for sure. Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it? It's so good. It's so good. Simon says, Jeff, you need to switch it on settings. Elaine says, amazing. Mark says, round of applause for that feature. Julie's questions answered. That's a really good feature. We'll start using that straight away. Pardeep says, for all of these updates, do we need to reload BuyBotPro, or will it automatically update on our current feature? I think we push out most updates automatically, don't we, Karen?
Yes.
Is there ever a time when they don't get automatically pushed out, or is it always now?
No, I think it's always. I don't think we ever hold back unless we're just going to beta test something with certain users, and then we won't. But I think afterwards, yes. So
I would advise hanging around in the BuyBotPro group, because when we put these new features out, we tend to post in there. So if you pop in there every couple of days or something and make sure you're up to date on everything new. But like we say, it's that quick look thing's just in the settings. So if you didn't know about the feature, if you didn't jump on here tonight, you'd never even know it existed. Right, what else we say? It's jumping around. Do you know where we're at with the questions?
Okay, so I think Carolyn's asked again if it's going to be recorded. Yes, we hope so, as long as technology is on our side. Yes, it is. Vladislav says he's moving to BuyBotPro, which is fabulous.
Kevin says game changer. Darren says that feature is a game changer. Absolutely, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, fantastic feature. So Shakinan says extra click, can the analyze be automatic instead of requiring a click? That's the one that actually does need a click. Because the problem is if how Amazon's set up, and when BuyBotPro goes to analyze a deal for you, it has to go and ask Amazon some questions, and Amazon only let us ask so many questions a minute, or they just go, not talking to you for a minute because you've asked too many questions. So if we were to automatically analyze every deal on every page as you opened a page, then very soon Amazon would block your account for 15 minutes or so, and we wouldn't be able to get any fees or any information from Amazon, or your eligibility and all of that. And then you as a customer would probably be saying, well, why is it not working? Because I can't do anything. But that's because Amazon has blocked it because we requested too much information too quickly. So that's why we've kept that click in, so that we can make sure we only analyze it when you actually do want to analyze something, not just when you're off doing your shopping or whatever, so that we're not going to block your Amazon account unnecessarily. That whole blocking of the Amazon account isn't something to worry about. It's just the back end of the API. It's just like if we're on the back end of it's not API, it's back end of Amazon's query. So when we're just asking for fees and stuff, it's just that information. So Amazon just every so often say, no, we're not going to give you any more information. You're asking too much. Go away.
Yeah, so just know that. Just know that. Look, our company policy almost is try and reduce clicks wherever possible. We want our software to be intuitive and easy to use and quick. So if we're making you click again, 9 times out of 10, it's not because we're being difficult. Like, it's because we've got to. But yeah, Vladislav says, I was planning to move on to BBP anyway. Woo! Well, welcome to the family. That's what we want.
Absolutely.
Craig says this software is absolute different gravy. I like it. Unreal piece of kit. Love it, Craig. Right, so what next, Karen? Which one?
What have we got left?
We've got VAT, quick links. It's got to be quick links, isn't it? And we're going to do VAT last.
Yep, let's do it.
Right, so let's go to the quick link.
This is quite a short one, I think. So the quick links in BuyBotPro are found right at the bottom of your BuyBotPro Chrome extension. And the search ones are to help you with reverse searching. So if you're looking for this product, if you've got an Amazon account and an eBay account, and you're looking for this product, if you just click eBay, BuyBotPro will populate the EAN, which is the product code, and find it on eBay for you. So that will really help you if you've got both accounts and you can find the product quickly. It'll also give you the option to look at the sold prices on eBay. So you can see what things have sold for previously and make it super quick to discover that information, potentially when you're reverse sourcing as well. And then Google, we open Google Shopping. So if you're doing reverse searching, you can see where else you can buy the product and for how much. And of course, then you can click through and use the manual sourcing accelerator within BuyBotPro to be able to analyze the deal on the retailer website as well. But we'll cover that in a different training session or a different video. So that's how the search options work within the quick links. And then you've got Seller Central links as well. So if you just click the home one, it will just take you straight into your Seller Central, assuming of course that you are logged in. If you click on the add a product, it will literally take you to be able to add that product straight into your Seller Central. Add your bits of information, save and finish, boom, done. Got your product in Seller Central. You can go to your inventory page within Seller Central. So obviously this account doesn't have any inventory, so there's nothing in there. But normally that'd be populated with all of your listings and all of your information. And you can go to your orders page as well. So hopefully, if you've got a successful online arbitrage business, you should go into this page and there'll be lots of orders and information about your orders in there. So the quick links are located at the bottom of BuyBotPro, and that's super helpful in helping you just get to wherever you need to get to in a hurry.
And we're back. Nice quick one. Yeah, so there are basically a bunch of shortcuts that pre-populate certain things. So super nice time saver just to make things something that you do all the time. Again, just making it nice and easy instead of having to open up tabs and all that stuff. You just click, done. D says this is so comprehensive, loving it. Nice one, D. Thanks for that. Yeah, so I don't suppose anybody's got any questions about that, but if you do, feel free to chuck them in the chat box right now. You got anything to add to that, Karen?
I don't think so. Craig said the software is absolute different gravy. Unreal piece of kit. So that's nice.
Gravy. Yeah.
That's what you say. Everything's gravy.
Everything's gravy, baby. Tamika says that's so convenient. Yeah, absolutely. Hansa says noob question, but I have issues with load times using BQP, quick view, looking at merchant stock lists. What can I do to speed things up? Better laptop, close other tabs? Probably a little bit of both. I don't know. Depends what's going on. Could be your internet connection, could be your laptop, could be different tabs. How old's your laptop? If it's like 10 years old, then maybe it's time to upgrade. I'm not going to tell you to go to Apple or Windows. That's up to you. We're not going to get into that debate. I know what I do, but yeah. So right, so lovely. So all I've got left to say is we are going to do the VAT feature now. Anson says, cheers, it's ancient. That might be the problem, Anson. Might be worth investing. Look, if you're going to earn good money from your business online, it's your one tool that you need. So, yeah. Mark says, can you explain why you would use the quick searches like the inventory link or the add inventory? So when you're looking to set up a shipment or send in products, you've got to add them and say, I've got these products to send in. So that's how you do it. You just click that link. Elaine says, on the quick links for the orders, will this show all historical orders? It just takes you to your order page in Amazon, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's your order page in Amazon. So I'd imagine it would show all of your orders in there. Yes. I would guess so. Probably got some sort of filter on it.
So, obviously, time's getting on. We need to speed through it because we don't want to run out of time. We've only got 2 hours on this session maximum. We'll be done before then, but we've only got 2 hours on this session total. And we want to do VAT. So I just want to say, like Karen said, there is a little bit that our international sellers might gain from in the next like bit of training we're going to show you. So you might want to hang around for that potentially if you're international. But otherwise, this next section is primarily for VAT people. So UK sellers predominantly. So VAT and non-VAT registered sellers, and how to do all that stuff within BuyBotPro. So if you're one of our international peeps, feel free. You can leave us after a couple of minutes into this next training. We'll say bye now to you. You can stay till the end if you like. We're here for questions after this session anyway, so maybe you'll want to stay for the Q&A. We're not kicking you out. We're just saying, look, this next bit's VAT and it's the last training section of tonight. We are going to do more training though, so we'll jump on another session because I've really enjoyed it. Have you, Karen?
Yeah, I've loved it. Absolutely loved it.
It's been amazing. So we'll do some more training sessions. Don't worry. This is just, we're scratching on the surface. We've got so much stuff in BuyBotPro we've not shown you. And like I say, we're going to show you Profit Protector Pro as well and on another session. But right, we're going to go into the VAT stuff now. So this is predominantly for UK sellers. Everybody else that's not, if you do go by, then we'll say bye-bye now. We'll see you next time. But yeah, shall I press play then, Karen?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, VAT time.
One of the most important things to do when you first set up BuyBotPro is to put your correct VAT status into BuyBotPro. Because whether you're VAT registered or whether you're not, VAT affects you. So you have to choose your VAT status. So if you are in the US or in Canada, then please choose not applicable. If you're a UK seller, you have to choose one of these three. So if you're not registered for VAT, then you choose non-VAT registered. If you are registered for VAT, you choose standard accounting. Now, flat rate scheme is a type of VAT registration, but it's fairly unlikely you're going to be signed up for flat rate scheme if your main business is selling on Amazon, because you'd be worse off for it. Now, obviously, this isn't tax advice. You should take proper tax advice. But the chances are that if you are selling on Amazon, you are non-VAT registered or standard accounting. And if you are flat rate scheme, you'd know about that because you'd have had to apply for it specifically. It's not something that just happens. And I would suggest you have a chat with your accountant about that and decide whether that's the right thing for you going forward if your main business is selling on Amazon through that limited company. So non-VAT registered, if you're a sole trader, if you're just starting out, if you're not gone VAT registered, so you choose non-VAT registered. If you are VAT registered, then choose standard accounting. But it's really important that you choose your right VAT method within BuyBotPro before you start sourcing deals. Because, as I say, this isn't tax advice, but if you are if you're not VAT registered, you have to pay the VAT on the Amazon fees. And if you don't set this up correctly and don't take that into account, that is going to impact on your bottom line because you have to pay those. And Amazon don't necessarily tell you about those. It won't show that in the Amazon app. So you need to make sure that you have chosen the right VAT status. Now, I'm very pleased to say that the VAT within BuyBotPro is managed by UK accountants, not by me. So that's a very good thing. But as I say, you need to make sure that you choose your right VAT status. So if you are not VAT registered, you pay VAT on the purchase price of the product, and you pay probably, depending on what the product is, but most likely you do, and you pay VAT on the Amazon fees. Now, if you are VAT registered, then you can claim back the fees on Amazon, or potentially they won't charge you them. So you can claim back that VAT, but then you have to charge the customer VAT on the product price, and you have to pay that to HMRC. So it's really important you choose the right VAT status. So once you've chosen the right VAT status, what will happen is BuyBotPro is built in to work out all your VAT. So you don't have to worry about any of that. But there are some incidences where you do need to worry about it, and it does need to be done differently. So for example, VAT in something like grocery is 0%, whereas VAT normally is 20%. So if we choose to have standard accounting here and we save ourselves as standard accounting in BuyBotPro. Then if we go back into the customer panel in BuyBotPro, you can see here that you can choose whether to be on 20% or 0% for grocery VAT. Now, what happens is 95% of the products within grocery category are not VATable. So you don't have to pay VAT. You still have to pay VAT if you're not. This is not for you if you're not VAT registered. This is only for you if you're VAT registered. If you're VAT registered, you don't have to pay VAT on the product, like on the sales price of the product, if it's a 0% product. But it's very complicated to know what is and what is not VAT rated as 0. So for an example, a box of biscuits with chocolate on the inside is not VATable, but a box of biscuits with chocolate on the outside is VATable because it's considered a luxury. So it's way outside of the option of BuyBotPro checking all these for you. So you have to decide whether you want to have grocery automatically at 0% or automatically at 20%. So if you have it if you toggle that to 20%, you'll always do better from the deal. Well, nearly always do better from the deal than you're expecting. If you toggle that to 0%, then sometimes you're going to be worse off than you think you are. But there is a way around that within BuyBotPro. So what you can do is because grocery is most of the time it's 0%. So you can put that on 0% and know that 95% of the time that's going to give you the right calculation. And then what you can do is when you analyze a deal, so let's say we're on a box of biscuits and it's got chocolate around the outside, so we know it's VATable rather than non-VATable. What you can do is you can add in a VAT override. So we can say, no, we're going to add in 20%. So we can analyze a deal with 20%. So it will override the 0% that we've put in here. If this was in grocery, let's just say, it'll override this and put it back to 20% for us. Now, I hope that makes sense, but you can change the VAT the same as you've got other things that have potentially, you've got some products that are 5% VAT, but it's very, very rare. So if you put that to 20% and you leave that on 20% and your standard accounting, so you've chosen your standard accounting here, you've chosen your 20% in grocery, off you go. You'll never be worse off than BuyBotPro tells you, and a lot of the time you'll be better off. So that potentially, if you want an easy way to do it, that is the easy way to do it. But you can override the VAT where you want to by using the VAT override just for that one analysis. Or as I say, you can change the grocery VAT to 0%, and then it will be right 95% of the time, but 5% of the time you'll lose money. Whereas this way, 5% of the time it will be right, but 95% of the time you'll make a bit more money than you thought. So either way, it depends on your preference of how it works, but that's how the VAT works within BuyBotPro.
So I was watching that and thinking,
can't see your video.
You can't see me?
No.
Let's try again. What about now? Can you hear me?
No, have you got your Derek detector on?
No, I've not got a Derek detector anymore.
Oh, maybe it's just me that can't see you. Maybe everyone else can. Can everybody else see Matt? I've just got a black screen.
Can you see me, guys, or not? I can see me.
Can you? Maybe it's just me then. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's me.
I don't know. I can pull faces at you then.
Oh, I can see you now. No, you can't, because I've got the power to kick you out of here. It's very exciting.
Everyone's saying nope. What does that mean? Oh,
it means I can't see you, but you're back now.
I'm back for you.
Yeah, I think you're probably back for everybody now.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a
delay. Now working. Yeah, it's working now. It's just a slight delay, isn't it?
Okay.
So I think to do with that VAT, if you are not VAT registered, all you need to do is go into the settings in BuyBotPro, change the settings to non-VAT registered, save it at the bottom, and you're good to go. That's all you have to do if you are not VAT registered. That's it. That's it. But what you'll notice that the Amazon seller app does not include VAT in the figures that it gives you. So it gives you those separately. So you're always going to be worse off than the Amazon seller app tells you. So it's quite a dangerous thing that they do. It's not dangerous. It's all right for them, I'm sure. But for you guys, it's really not the best. So if you're not VAT registered, if you're new to business, new to online arbitrage, new to BuyBotPro, then if you're not VAT registered, just go into the settings, non-VAT registered, save and sync, good to go. That's it. That's all you need to know about. That's it. And I've gone into a little bit more detail for the VAT registered people in terms of how to get the best from the VAT. But I think
I would like to reiterate, this is not tax advice. We're not accountants. We're not now BuyBotPro is exclusively what's the right word? Verified or checked on a regular basis by a UK specialist Amazon accountant. So don't work for Amazon, but all of his client base are Amazon sellers. That's Mark Hawley at Passive Tax, and on a semi-regular basis, he comes and has a look at our figures and goes, "Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's all good." So again, it's not tax advice, and it's not tax advice from Mark. But what I'm saying is, look, we're not winging a prayer in this stuff. We're doing our best to get your back. So yeah, we can't say this is the right way to do things, this is the wrong way to do things, but we can say that, look, we have an accountant that looks at this stuff and verifies it. So yeah, that's a good breakdown. I thought that was clear as mud at first. I'm like, where is this going? And then by the end of it, I was like, oh no, that's actually really good. I didn't know about that grocery thing. I didn't even know that was an option in BuyBotPro, which is great. So that's good.
Yeah, cheeky bugger.
I know. I like you like it when I'm cheeky. A lot of our American friends left before that. We didn't get time to say bye. So where I want to say bye to Mark, Jevon, Julie, Tamika, and anybody else that left with our American friends. Yeah, so we got some more questions come in. Matt, how are you so attractive and hunky? I don't know. I guess it's just I don't know. Nobody's ever said that to me, even when I was younger and slightly more attractive and hunky. But yeah, never mind. Fantasy over. What's the actual questions, Karen?
Right. Okay. So Phil's asking about the ROI method. We're going to cover that in a different training session in more depth. But let me tell you just quickly. Okay. So ROI can be worked out lots of different ways. Some of which an accountant will tell you is right, and some of which an accountant will tell you is wrong. Now, funnily enough, the most popular way to work it out in the UK is the one that gives you the best ROI.
Yeah. And it's actually the one that the accountants would argue is incorrect.
Yes,
but it is the most popular one, and we're not saying you shouldn't use that, because ultimately you're not doing your blooming books and tax. You're trying to make a purchase decision. So, a rough idea, this is 35% ROI might be enough for you, when in actual fact, it might be 31.27% ROI. Sorry, Karen, go on.
Yeah, so there's different ways of working it out. If you want it to look good, if you're in the UK and you want it to look quite good, then use method 1. If you want to actually know what your ROI really, really is and be in receipt of all your figures, then use method 4. You can use method 5 if you like, but method 4 is good. And basically that means it's going to take into account all your expenses for that deal when it works out your return on investment. So all the different returns on investment, they take into account different things when they're working out the figures. So like some will take into account absolutely everything. Some will take into account just the product price and maybe the Amazon fees. Some will take into account the VAT. They'll all take into account a different amount. But if you want it to look good, then go for method 1, which is the most popular. If you want it to be accurate, go for method 4, which is probably one of the least popular, because it's obviously a lot lower in terms of what it actually is, because method 4 will take into account everything. You can use method 5 as well. So that's good. Either of those are good. Method 5 takes into account the storage costs as well, which is a bit, shall we, shan't we include that? Because obviously you don't know at the beginning how long you're going to have that product in storage. So it's a little bit of a grey area. So I would say go for method 4. Storage fees, unless obviously your product is in there a long time or is massively huge, are fairly low anyway, of just pennies, for a few months. So I would say go for method 4 if you want it to be correct.
Karen, am I correct in saying that most of our American friends and users go for 4?
They can do 4 or 5 that they will use, but I think 4 or 5. But I think we had an extra one, method 6, and that was asked for by US sellers. So have a look. If you go into the settings and hover over ROI calculations, it will give you each of the actual calculations worked out. So you can have a look at exactly what works best for you. But if you're in the UK and you want it accurate, use method 4.
But remember, BuyBotPro is not about doing your books or doing your accounts or getting things penny perfect. BuyBotPro is about helping you make good purchase decisions on your stock. So we need to not lose sight of that. So yeah, most Brits tend to like method 1, which is real, just raw and basic. It's a rough idea, and that's good for most people. So it's not wrong if you're using method 1. It's actually what most people use because it's not perfectly analytical. It's about, right, is this a 50%? It's like the speed of sales thing. You're not looking for, does this sell 32 this month? You're looking for a rough idea. And a rough idea is, this is a 45% ROI. Great, I'll source it. Or this is a 12% ROI. I won't source it. So don't get too hung up on it at the sourcing stage is my advice. So whether you want to use 1 or 4 is totally up to you. Like I say, most Brits use 1. I think most Americans use 4. Your choice. Okay.
So, but we will cover ROI in more depth in a later training session. So Joanna's asked, what is the BuyBotPro Island? It is a little picture of BuyBotPro that comes up on the main screen. You can toggle it on and off in the settings, and it gives you all the key information in one little place. So it takes a lot of the information through the long part of BuyBotPro and sticks it up on the corner for you in one place. But just
it's in the middle. It's in the middle.
Toggle it on and off. Toggle it on and off, and have a look at.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the screen, and it just gives you like a quick dashboard view of the basics that you're probably going to look at. And then some people, what they'll do is they'll look there rather than scroll and analyze the old deal. They'll just have a look at there and go, oh yeah, low profit, I'll not bother. So it's just a nice quick at a glance. See it as like a dashboard on your car. You'll have a little look. But if you wanted to know the real details, you go into the settings, maybe on your infotainment system or something.
So John says, who the hell decided that chocolate on the outside is luxury and not when it's on the inside? HMRC, that says it all. That's all I need to say, John. That's it.
Bonkers, isn't it? It's a bit bonkers. I mean, I get it, but I mean, it's blooming heck.
I know. Right, Sean says he's roughly 7% worse off after being VAT registered. Yep. Trying to get smarter with more 0% VAT products. Yep, absolutely.
I would like to add something to that. A lot of people avoid VAT registration because they think if I fly under the VAT threshold, then I'll be better off. But like Sean says, you're 7% worse off across everything. But if it means you can scale your business, if it means you can smash through that 80,000 or whatever it is barrier, and you can go to 200,000 or 400,000 or 600,000, then it's just a step you need to take at some point, in my opinion, if you want to take things next level.
Yeah. So Brian says, can I confirm that if we're VAT registered, ROI method 5 is best? 4 or 5 both work for you, Brian. Probably 4, because as I say about the storage costs, you don't really know how long stuff's going to be in storage, so it makes it a little bit less accurate. But as Matt says, you're not going for perfection anyway, but method 4 is probably best. Phil's going to switch from 5 to 4. Joanna says, my one was set as default, never changed anything. On the setting, it is set as not applicable US and Canadian and method 1. Should I change it to non-VAT registered? Would it make any difference? Yeah, it's going to make a lot of difference, Joanna. You need to change it. Absolutely 100%. You need to change it to not VAT registered if that is if you're not registered for VAT. And yes, it is going to make a difference to you. So you need to do that.
I assume Joanna's not based in the US.
I'm assuming she's in the UK because should I change it to non-VAT registered? Joanna, if you're in the UK and you're not VAT registered, change it to non-VAT registered. If you're in the US, leave it as not applicable for US and Canadian sellers. Yes.
Yeah. Pardeep says true. I'm hoping to get that registered as soon as my sales hit targets. Awesome, Pardeep. Right, so I think this has been a great session. I think we should probably wrap it up now. It's been a long session, but it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Have you, Karen?
Yeah, I've loved every minute of it. I think it's been fantastic.
Been really good. We'll do another one real soon. You're seeing more of us these days anyway. We're putting like seller interviews out. If any of you guys want to jump on a seller interview with us, and you don't have to be a big seller, you can just be somebody starting out, whatever. But if any of you want to jump on and do a real friendly, real fun chat and just talk to us, and we'll record it and we'll put it up there for everyone to see, so we can share some of your journey and show other people that may be considering getting into this game. It's real and there's real people doing it, and it's all right. It's not scary. Then we'd love to have you. Just let us know and we'll schedule potentially schedule in a bit of a seller interview so you can be famous and do one of these. But yeah, just want to say massive thank you to everybody for coming and joining us tonight. I know you could have been doing anything. You could have been anywhere. You could have been watching Netflix or watching the news or whatever. But you chose to spend it with us tonight, and it means a lot to us that you did that. Hopefully you've gained a lot. I think it's been a great session. We've really enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed having you guys' company. You've been amazing, really fun, and you've been really proud of you guys to say, like, good, just great bunch. No shenanigans, no silliness, just good learning, fun, collaborative experience. Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Can I just answer Karen's question, because she dropped her connection halfway through? So non-VAT registered method 1 or method 4. If you want your VAT to look good, if you want your ROI to look good, then choose method 1. If you want it to be the most accurate as possible, use method 4, but neither are right or wrong. It's just a different way of working it out. Most people in the UK use method 1, but method 4 is actually the most accurate.
Yeah. Okay. Getting loads of love. Great webinar. Thank you, Dean says. Kevin says, thank you very much. Been great. Thank you. Michelle says, Dee says, great session. Clappy hands. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Really enjoyed. Looking forward to the next session. Pardeep says, Anne says, thank you, Karen and Matt. It's really helpful and learned a lot that never thought it was there. Looking forward to the PPP webinar. Yeah, this is just a fraction of it, guys. Honestly, like, there's so many features in BuyBotPro that we've not even tickled tonight that we're going to do another session. We're probably going to could probably do another 6 sessions. Yeah. And only just cover everything in BuyBotPro, but we're going to do a Profit Protector Pro session probably next. And then we'll jump on another BuyBotPro session. So each session won't be a repeat of the last. We'll do new sessions each time. Yeah. So it's worth coming to the next one. So if you enjoyed it, let everybody know what they missed. We'll post the replay. We'll probably put it in the Secret Wealth Project YouTube channel. We'll probably put it on in the BuyBotPro Facebook group. That's it, probably, isn't it, Karen?
Yeah, probably. And that will do.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. So if you wanted to scroll back and watch something again because you weren't taking notes, don't worry, you'll get that. We'll get it up there. We'll get it in the group and stuff. But yeah, massive thanks for everyone turning up. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Good night, everyone. Thanks so much. Been a pleasure.
Cheers all. Bye-bye.
Bye.